Good rising, brethren. This is Big Judah coming to you guys from California. Before I begin, give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who was wisdom? Who was Holy Spirit? Acknowledge Yahushai. I pray the Most High blesses the lesson this evening, gives more knowledge and understanding of the events of the past, in order to understand events that are currently happening on the earth, so we get a much better understanding of the things that are soon to come on the earth. Brethren, a sister shared this book with me, and she showed it to me and it looked very interesting, so I got it, and I think you guys should definitely try to get out there and get it right now as well. Last time I checked, they were still like $5, $6, $7. You know how it is. A lot of these guys get these books and they make them thinking that they're Israel, sell a few copies, but then the Most High gives it to us and it opens up all the understanding to his people. See, the key with these people who think that the British, the white Europeans, and the Americans are the Southern Kingdom, they think they're Ephraim and Manasseh. And they always talk about how they're the only ones that fit the blessings of Jacob. And that's their whole reason as to why they're going to get raptured, and us Gentiles are then going to go through the Great Tribulation, because they believe that they're the only ones that fit the blessings. I saw this actually on one of the other videos and the comment section that I would looked at, and I actually took a couple of pictures of the comments. But they always say that they're the only ones that fit the blessing. They're the only ones that were able to go worldwide and be a blessing to the people. You see, their blessing, them saying we went around the world and blessing the people, means that they went around and destroyed everyone else, forced them to follow their ways. See, they've hidden the fact that we fit the blessings first. We had the blessings first. Our people were going around the world. We were working with the other nations. We were blessing the other nations. But see, that is the history that they have been trying to hide, because we fit the blessings first. They fit the blessings here at the end because they had their opportunity to run everything. And they've ran it straight into the ground. They don't want you to know that during the time of Enoch, the kings of the world came to him and asked him to run the world, because they knew that he had great understanding, he had wisdom. We know that Solomon was considered to be the wisest of them all. Solomon had mines in the Americas. The Phoenicians were taking care of bringing gold from Ophir, the gold mines of Solomon. So if he had knowledge of the Americas, it wouldn't make sense that he wouldn't have knowledge of all the other areas, all the other land masses as well. That was the information that was handed down to our people. But see, they hide all that. They want to make it seem as if our people's sphere of influence was only in the so-called Middle East, and that was it. So that then at the last days, they can say that they're the only ones that fit the blessings of Jacob, the so-called Edomites, the Indo-Europeans. They want you to think that they're the only ones that fit the blessing of Jacob. Well, and that's why they've been holding all of our history down this entire time. We're just going to read a little bit of this book right here. It's got a lot of great information. It says, what's prophesied to happen now to America and Britain? So you don't hear them in the churches. They're always like, well, we don't know what's going to happen to America. We don't know. I've heard that for so many years when I used to go to church. We don't know what's going to happen to America. Maybe there's going to be a huge revival. We're all just going to be raptured away. That's the kind of garbage that they, have been talking about. But see, as you can tell, other people are now they're putting America and England together. Says what's prophesied to happen now to America and Britain. Just as God has bestowed on us such material blessings as never before came to any nations, now to correct us so we may enjoy such blessings. He is going to bring upon our peoples such national disaster as has never been struck any nation. Many prophecies describe this. So things that we've been saying that, they've had their run and now there's going to be many disasters. Let's read that again. Just as God has bestowed on us such material blessings as never before came to any nations, now to correct us so we may enjoy such blessings, he is going to bring upon our peoples such national disaster as has never before struck any nation. Many prophecies describe this. So he's describing what's going to happen to the Americas and to Britain. It says, as is the tremendous prophecy of Micah, an important additional proof of modern Israel's identity is found in a fantastic detail and most specific prophecy found in Micah 5, 7 through 15. It is speaking specifically about the remnant of Israel. Now, I said we need to know, just put ourselves into there. We know exactly who they're talking about. Okay, the remnant of Israel, modern Israel today, wherever it is. It describes the wealth, the beneficent, dominance among nations, and then the coming downfall of the American and British Commonwealth peoples in detail. Notice, the remnant of Jacob shall be in the midst of many people, nations, as a dew from the Lord, as the showers upon the grass, that tarrieth not for man, nor waiteth for the sons of men. Verse 7. Remember that dew and showers are absolutely necessary to agricultural productivity and are a symbol of national blessing and wealth from God. Let's continue. And the remnant of Jacob shall be among the Gentiles in the midst of many people, as a lion among the beasts of the forest, as a young lion among the flocks of sheep, who if he go through, both treadeth down and teareth in pieces, and none can deliver. Verse 8. It says, again, this symbolism describes the last generation of Israel as a great power, as a lion among the other nations of the earth. And that's exactly it. Israel is coming to the point where they are going to be a great power, and going to be, interspersed with all the other nations. It says, thine hand shall be lifted up upon thine adversaries, and all thine enemies shall be cut off. Verse 9. They were cut off from the beginning of God's birthright blessing on America and Britain, starting about 1803, through the First World War and the Second World War, until the turning point of the Korean War at the end of 1950. Now, we know that our people have been, going through this over here in America since 1492, but they were getting destroyed over in England, okay, in Europe, Ireland, all these things even before that. Okay, that was the jumping off point. But check this part out about the, Indo-Europeans losing their power right here. Since that time, however, the blessings are surely being taken away, and neither America nor Britain has come out on top of any major skirmish since that time. So they've been having their power diminished since 1950. So this prophecy shows that at the very time we were receiving God's blessings, we were a tremendous blessing to the other nations of the earth. For it is our peoples who have rescued the nations of the world time and again through the Marshall Plan, the Point Four program, the Alliance for Progress, the hundreds of millions of bushels of wheat for India and other starving nations, etc. The Hoover program saved up vast food supplies after World War I. It saved millions in other nations from starvation. Anciently, Joseph saved up the wheat and food and made it available to others. Modern Joseph did also. But we are stiff-necked and rebellious toward God and his law, while our ancient forefather Joseph served and obeyed God with a whole heart. It is our peoples who have been like a lion among the other nations of the earth, preserving in two great world wars the peace of the world and stability for all human life on this planet. See, they were like the lion. That's because they got their blessing first. They just got their blessing right now. So the whole thing about being the lion and all these other things, yeah, you guys had that blessing. Exactly. I'm glad you guys are admitting it. And you saw since 1950, you haven't really won any major skirmishes since, because your blessing had already been starting to be taken away all the way back then, 71 years ago. Now we've come to the end where your blessings are for surely gone and the curses are here. You were able to enjoy the last 71 years. Even still, you had the opportunity to do right by our people, and you never did. The Most High gave you this last year to admit you're wrong. He even gave you, the death of George Floyd and all of the displays, all of the, all of them getting together, people talking about the truth, talking about what you've done to us. They had peaceful protests. They had protests for months and months and months, and you had an opportunity to do the right thing. And now we've come into the end of that year. The end of your opportunity to do right by our people on your own. And now the Most High is about to make you do right, whether you like it or not. There's a lot of information in this book. I just wanted to share a little bit with you and give you an opportunity to try to get it before we start doing more videos on it. As you can tell, the Most High he's not playing. He gave you guys months of protests. He let you get a little taste of what you've been doing to our people. Many tried to, they did it for business reasons. They sat there and said, "Oh, we're with you guys. We feel bad. We're going to do this. We're going to do that." You just can't get through. You can't get by with just an apology. You can't make up for hundreds and hundreds of years of death and destruction with just an "I'm sorry." You can't keep trotting out people like Herschel Walker to sit here and talk about how we don't need reparations and how bad reparations are, and it's against his Christian religion. Well, that's funny because, like I said, they've been getting reparations. They've been giving reparations to other people. If anybody did anything to them, they wanted 100 people dead. If for every one of their people they killed, they'd want 100 of you dead. They've made this whole construct of black and white that never existed before. And if you came here, you were put in the white category. If you're Indo-European, so-called white people, and you got the benefits. Doesn't matter where you came from. You could have been Romanian, Israeli, Russian, German, Scandinavian. You came here to this country, you got put in the white category. And you got all the blessings. You got to enjoy all the blessings. And you didn't say no. You took all the blessings. If you were not white, you were pretty much put in the black category. It might not have been as low as us so-called African Americans, because there were still some programs for you. But we were put at the bottom. And no one ever cared about what would happen to us. So that's why this death and destruction is now coming for you. You can talk about all your plans and Marshall plans and Hoover plans and and how, puff yourself up about what you've done to, help the little guy. But for all the things you've taken, you can't make up for that with a couple of little gestures. The Most High is coming, and He wants that full retribution. Any of our people that you put in chains has to be paid for. Any of our people that you've killed has to be paid for. Thus saith the Most High. Much more is coming. All praise is the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is Holy Spirit? Acknowledge Yahweh Shai. Shalom.